Whoop, coming in hot. Little too hot. I'm in the gravel. That is not how it's done. Hey, welcome back to Drewster Racing. Today we're at the NOCO Criterium in Loveland, Colorado. This course is incredible, extremely technical, a little over a mile long, and it's on the Northern Colorado Law Enforcement Training Center track. And this tarmac is absolutely perfect. I think it was like brand new this year, and such a joy to race on. So I'm off the front early. I wanted to get a good look at the course. I did not get a chance to take any practice laps as there was a race right before ours, and you can see it's pretty technical. Two hairpin turns, a chicane, an easy right-hander, and then a very long straight to the finish. Alright, so we'll speed things up as we take a look at this course. That was the first hairpin, and soon after we have another one. Slight straight here, and then we're going to go into a chicane. And was able to navigate the chicane the first time through pretty well, but didn't have the same luck a little later in the race. And as you can see, we have this long right-hander into the finishing straight, and it is long. Definitely don't want to start a sprint too early here. And yeah, second lap, I'm going to have a few guys hop in front. My teammate Joshua is off the front. I do a poor job of hanging on that wheel, but that's par for the course. And a few more guys jumping in front, and I kind of liked my positioning off the front, so I decided to just put in a little mini dig, hop in front, so I can take that chicane all by myself. And that is what I do, unsuccessfully. I'm going in a bit faster than last time, and I am in the gravel. And that was ugly. About 5 or 6 miles an hour faster than the first time going through, and that was enough to kind of throw me off, and I ended up in the gravel. Fortunately able to keep it upright, but did manage to embarrass myself in front of the 50 other riders in this race. So I'm no longer off the front, hanging out in the group, hoping to serve some wheels, but I am soon learning, man, people are grabbing a lot of brakes going into these hairpins, and I find myself back in the gravel and putting in a decent dig to stay with the group, 700, 800, almost 900 watts. And I can't sustain that for an entire race because, 2 hairpins a lap plus a chicane. If I'm doing 3 hard digs like that, or every lap, I'm gonna have absolutely nothing left at the end. All right, so we're going back into that chicane, and this time I'm going into it at about 20 miles an hour versus 30, and much easier to navigate, keeping the wheels on the tarmac, but again, putting in a huge dig. We just surpassed 1,000 watts just to stay with the group, and I still have some gap to make up, and that is not sustainable. I'm going to have absolutely no sprint left or no power on that last lap when things really start to pick up. All right, so skipping ahead to the halfway point of the race, and about half of the group has been dropped. So there's maybe 20, 25 riders left in this main group. And I'm trying to tail gun at the moment, but having a lot of troubles, especially with these hairpin turns. I'm going into these turns and just letting a huge gap open up each time. And I try to sneak back up on this guy's wheel in front of me. And then we've got guys slamming brakes, and the guy right in front of me, he ends up having to take a line into the gravel. And it's taken me and a lot of other racers some time or a few laps to really get these hairpins and the chicane just right. So I'm still tail gunning the main group. We've had about 6.5K to go. And I think this is a great example of why tail gunning doesn't always work, especially for these more technical courses. Going around these hairpins, I'm going way too slow. I'm going through this hairpin at like 11 miles an hour and having to put in a pretty good dig to make contact. And if you look ahead, you're going to see a ton of gaps opening up. And right now, between me and the leader, there's probably anywhere from, 7 to 10 seconds, and that's a lot of real estate I'm going to have to make up, especially if someone launches an attack off the front. I'm not going to have the legs to be in position. So I get through this chicane again, and again, more gaps are opening up. I'm letting a gap open up, but there's more gaps in front of a few of the riders in front of me. And if things pick up around this corner, which they easily could, and they continue to pick up into that straight, there's no doubt I'm going to get dropped. Fortunately, the main group is not going extremely hard. Like right now, I'm doing 200 watts. I think I kick it up a little bit after I, ease off going into this turn, but if this group would have went full gas into this turn in the straightaway, I think my race would have been over. Alright, so we're going into the last lap. I've been tailgunning this entire time, so I put in a little bit of power, 900 or so watts, to move my way to the front, establish a little bit of a gap, nothing crazy, hoping someone's going to come with me and we can kind of ride this thing out to the end and battle it out in a sprint. But that's really not the case. I have a gap, but the main group, they're staying together, they're working together, and then they're slowly going to catch me. So I have, I don't know, maybe another 100 or so meters, maybe 200 more meters until the group starts to pass. So I'm just kind of wasting energy. I'm kind of happy that I was aggressive because that was maybe my biggest mistake at the last race, that CSU Oval Criterium. I waited way too long to make a move. But then here I think I attacked a little bit too early. And then it's pretty frustrating to watch. I let a lot of people just easily slide right in front of me. I need to stick onto one of these wheels and not give it up. But I don't want to keep kind of getting caught in the wind. And guys just keep sliding right by me. And I mean, we're going into this last hairpin. And essentially the last technical piece of this course is that chicane. So I need to be near the front before that chicane, because once we get out of that chicane, everyone's thinking the same thing, and that's full gas until the finish line. And that's exactly what happens. But the problem is I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, maybe 10 to 12 riders in front of me for this chicane, and I'm out of position, coming out of it pretty slow, and yeah, these guys are hammering it. So more and more space is continuing to open up. I let a gap go. I should have hung onto my teammate's wheel here. This rider in the orange is going to slide in. Good move by him. And then I let another gap open up on him. So I'm again doing just a ton of work just to get to that next wheel. And if you look ahead on this turn, the main group splits into two. And at this point, my race is over. I'd still have to pass these 4 riders and then be exposed to the wind, make up maybe another 100 meters or so, and there's just no way that's going to happen. So I put in a little bit of a dig to score some minor places and hopefully an upgrade point or two. And that ends up being my day. I ended up finishing 9th out of 50 riders. Very happy with the result, again, for this only being my second criterium. But definitely felt like I had the fitness to at least find the podium. Fortunately, that did not take too much longer. The next race is actually the Pueblo Criterium, and I already released a video on that race. So if you'd like to actually see me win, highly recommend checking that video out. Thanks again for watching. Please like and subscribe. I plan on releasing a few more videos pretty soon, one featuring my first race bike, and then the rest of the 2022 season. Also, the 2023 season is just around the corner. I plan on releasing those videos shortly after each race, and I plan on getting a few of my teammates to help me out with some of the commentary for our bigger races. So please subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Later.